instructional materials should act as a guide for the teacher. So, is there the teacher's guide to provide briefing for effective use? Just like for example, when a teacher is teaching the concept of wants and needs, of course, she tried to utilize the video. The video itself acts as a guide to the teacher as well as the teacher acts as a guide to the video. So when can we apply that? So for example, when the teacher is playing the video, of course the students will listen. And the teacher will post the video and then the teacher will discuss. So therefore, the teacher and the video acts as a guide towards each other. So meaning it facilitates learning. No? I guess you already understand. Also, the chance that the instructional materials will be used to the maximum and to the optimum of is increased with teacher's guide. So that's like what I said. So a video itself cannot deliver the learning without the guidance of the teacher. So when the video is playing and being stopped, the teacher will discuss. So therefore, the video or the instructional materials will be utilized to deliver the learning. Okay? Can the materials in question help to make students better thinkers and develop their critical faculties? Of course, you need to select the video that really facilitates or that really explain or support the teacher to explain the concept of wants and needs. Of course, it would also, it would also work with promoting critical thinking towards the students. No? So during the discussion, during the utilization of the instructional materials, that video, the teacher will ask the students. Therefore, there will be a critical thinking that will apply or that will be maximized by the students. Okay? So with exposure to mass media, it is highly important that we maintain and strengthen our rational powers. Of course, when explaining, it is very important that we should focus on the cognitive development or the critical thinking skills of the students so that you're able to learn the topic effectively. Okay? Other guideline. So, is the material worth the time, expense, and effort involved? So just like for example, in creating a video, I believe you don't have to create it yourself. You're able to maximize media. You can actually find sources in the media. So therefore, you can save your time. And also, you can save expenses. So just like for example, if you're going to create an instructional materials made out of paper, no? So instead of buying expensive instructional materials, you can actually utilize those that are cheaper, but can also facilitate the learning that is intended to be delivered to the students. Okay? So the other idea is that if there is a cheaper instructional materials or is there a cheaper items that could facilitate the learning, you can choose that rather than the expensive one. So that's it. So it's better to choose the cheaper, yet quality rather than the expensive, but also quality. Okay? So choose those which you can save time, you can save expenses, and of course you can save effort. No? Okay. So is it more effective than any other less expensive and less demanding instructional materials that can take its place? Just like I have said, as long as it can facilitate the same learnings that are supposed to be facilitated using expensive, you can actually choose those less expensive. Okay? Now, or is there a better substitute? So that's it. If you can find resources that are not expensive but can also facilitate the learning, you can use it, you can maximize it. Okay? So now, what is the importance of instructional materials? So, you know what, class? It is one thing to select a good instructional material, so it is another thing to use it well. So what do you mean by this? When we say it is one thing to select good instructional materials, that is actually the 50% assurance that you can deliver the learning. So the materials itself is actually 50% and also additional to another 50% to its use. So just like for example, the video itself is 50%. And the idea or the learnings that the video will give to the students, that's also 50%. So therefore, in choosing your instructional materials, you need to select those that are suitable to the needs of the students. to their ideals, no? So that the learning will become active, no? So that's it. So that's according to Hayden Smith and Thomas Nagel in 1972. So the book authors on instructional media.
Now let's proceed to this framework, which is the PPPF. It is the practical guide for teachers to ensure that the instruction is more effective. The first P is the prepare yourself. The second one is prepare your student. Then the third one is prepare the material. Then follow up. Now first, let's talk about the prepare yourself. So you should know your lesson objective and what you expect from the class after the session and why you have selected such particular instructional material. So you should know, as a teacher, as a future teacher, you should be prepared and you should know your lesson objectives, the goals, what did the students expect after the discussion, the specific skill they want to gain, and the knowledge, the values, and also what you expect from the class. So you might expect whether they will doing a group activities, reflections, or presenting something. But also you don't have to say that you expect them to have a high scores, but you expect that they will do well. You encourage them to try their best, and also let them ask questions or even do a reflections week by week. And also, you have to know why you selected such a particular instructional material. It is because so why you choose that particular instructional material. So you should be intentional about your materials. Is it suitable for the needs of the students or the grade level, for their age, or it is right for the lesson, it is connected for your lessons. And the second one is prepare your students. So set reasonably and high class expectations and learning goals. Motivate them and keep them interested and engaged. So you should tell your students what their goals, or they have to the outcomes of their learnings for after the discussion. So you should make your goals not too hard and not too easy, just right to challenge them. And also you expect their best. Let them know they can do well. Encourage them, motivate them, use activities that will hook them to be engaged. You encourage them to practice, ask questions, and also you can also motivate them by using stories, videos, or even engaging instructional materials, so that it lets the students to keep interested and engaged in your lessons.
So the next one, let's